Hi guys, and welcome to another Regex video. Unlike the previous videos, I wish to start this one with a question. My assumption is that you have watched earlier videos and thus have a sense of some key meta characters. So with that in mind, here we go. We have a string and three patterns. Can you predict the outcome of these three findall functions? Pause the video and give the problem a shot, and do return for the solution, and much more. Welcome back. In the first function, we are just looking at all matches for the pattern cat. Now, at the cost of sounding pedantic, rather than looking at this pattern as cat, it's preferable to view this pattern literally. That is, a pattern that starts with C followed by an A and then a T. They end up meaning the same thing, but looking at things in a literal way allows for a better understanding. Okay, let's run. We find this pattern 5 times in the string. Now let's come to the second pattern. Here we are looking for the pattern within a word boundary. So this, for example, is not what we want, but this is. Let's test. Finally, here are 2 meta characters that we have not seen before, so that was not fair, I guess. But you have seen the caret meta character before, but in a character class. It results in a negated character class. So for example, this regex matches a pattern that starts with a Q, but whose next character is not a U. Now let's return to our present regex. There is no character class here, and thus the caret symbol has a different meaning. It matches the start of a line of text. And here is another interesting fact. Some meta characters, like the caret and the \b, mark positions. In this case, the start of a line and a word boundary, respectively. And meta characters such as the \d match values, such as a digit. Please make a note. So the caret matches the start and the dollar matches the end of the line. So we are looking for a pattern that starts with a C, followed by an A and then a T, and then by 0 or more characters, and it ends with a C followed by an A and a T. Boy, that was a mouthful. Thus this pattern will match the entire string. I hope you found these questions useful. Now moving ahead, this video will introduce 2 new regex concepts: alternation and grouping. We will understand both concepts by looking at real-world scenarios. So let's start with alternation. We have a string and are looking for a name within that string. Say Robert. The only problem is that Robert may be addressed as Bob. So basically we want to search all occurrences of Robert or Bob. This is where alternation comes in. The meta character pipe means or. It helps us combine multiple sub-expressions and matches any of them. Let's test. All good. So let's continue. Now in this final example, we will introduce a very important concept in regular expressions: grouping. So listen up, please. Say we have this string that contains the details of our expenses. Now we wish to extract just the amounts from this list. So we build a pattern like so. We have the mandatory first part and the optional decimal. I will use a character class for it and make it optional. Finally, 0 or more digits after the point. Now this gives us all our numeric values. Now say I wish to break up each number into its integer value and its decimal value. We could take these values and do some more work to break them up. but it would be better if the output of our regex does this work for us. Groups help us achieve this. Now all we will do here is enclose the regex components we wish to group, like so. Now let us run the findall function once again. This time the result is different, split into the components we want. So we have just scratched the surface here with respect to grouping, and in subsequent videos we will look at this concept in more detail. Thanks a lot.